Hey Reddit.
If COVID-19 wasn't dominating the news right now, what would be some of the biggest stories be right now?
Like and subscribe and we'll make more videos. Share your news story in the comments. The US government wanting to ban end-to-end encryption.
It's fucking stupid. What I've heard is that companies that continue to use end-to-end encryption will be stripped of their Section 230 protections. They will then be responsible for any illegal shiz found on their platform, which will really frick up every social networking platform because there's gonna be illegal shiz on there. Companies that comply and remove their E2E encryption will keep their Section 230 protections but essentially open up their platform to a host of security vulnerabilities. As a cybersecurity enthusiast, I should point out that a ton of its supporters seem very uninformed on the benefits of E2E encryption. It's a stupid idea.
Wouldn't this kill online banking?
The US government trying to pass an anti-child porn law that actually just gives them the ability to search through all of our messages.
And also bans end-to-end encryption. If you know anything about internet security, you know that would be devastating to literally everything that's based online in any way whatsoever.
They pulled it off successfully with the Patriot Act against terrorists. So why not do it with pedophiles? Despite immunity being granted to the rich ones.
The nearly 2-year-long Ebola outbreak in the DRC has ended. The last patient to be treated has survived.
Wow, I was worried about this a couple of months ago, but then the pandemic that must not be named took over my attention and I forgot about it. Incredibly brave people fighting Ebola. Such a scary disease.
The 2020 presidential election.
Never thought I'd be thankful for a pandemic.
Seriously. Who the frick is going to win?
The former King of Spain and his Swiss accounts.
Wow, that is crazy. Seems like it's the perfect time to get away with whatever you want.
And the fact that through those accounts he received €100 million from Saudi Arabia and that he's being sued in the UK for threatening his ex-lover, all the while Spanish courts refuse to open an investigation.
I would hope the locusts plaguing East Africa, the Middle East, and the Indian subcontinent. It's describing some swarms as being the size of New York. And they are eating their harvest, threatening widespread famine. I think without coronavirus we would mobilize to try to control this population the way we did for Zika-carrying mosquitoes in the Americas.
Plagues, wildfires, locust. I know things like this happen, but definitely getting some apocalypse vibes.
Just one horseman at a time, please. Probably the oil price war actually. Saudi Arabia is trying to force the Russians into cutting production since they won't play ball with OPEC+. And US shale might pay the price as we need high cost for this entire industry to function.
I'd argue right now that if COVID wasn't happening, neither would the oil price war. They can only drop the price of oil super cheap because demand dropped through the floor.
I work in the oil industry. This is huge right now. It's honestly just about the same as the coronavirus for us. Hours getting cuts, people losing their jobs, etc. All due to oil price and not coronavirus. US shale is paying the price. Even without the virus, it would kill our economy. Yes, it did start before coronavirus. But the impact happened at the same time.
One of the main routes into downtown Seattle, the West Seattle Bridge, was closed yesterday because cracks in support beams made it structurally unsound. It will take several months to fix and will not reopen until it's done. This would normally destroy the entire Seattle commute. But it happened right now, so it's barely even a blip on the local news.
Real talk. This was probably the best possible time for this to happen.
That Putin changed his country's constitution so he can be president until 2036.
I think we've all known for a while that dude's going to leave power in a casket and not a moment sooner.
To be honest, I'm not so much afraid of Putin being in power longer. I'm more afraid of when he finally kicks the bucket and leaves a power vacuum behind. I'm not a fan of the man myself, but he's better than a warmonger harassing and creating the Cold War Part 2.
ISIS bombs Sikh place of worship in Afghanistan.
Oh man, bombing the Sikhs? I know it's ISIS. But come on guys.
Afghan officials say 25 were killed and 8 more are wounded in an attack on the Sikh temple in the nation's capital. It appears multiple gunmen stormed the temple complex while there were approximately 150 people inside. A Sikh who took cover says the militants went room to room, shooting and throwing hand grenades. The Islamic State organization has claimed responsibility.
North Room case in Korea. Telegram porno sexual slavery ring with 74 victims including underage girls. The Telegram groups has estimated at least 10 to 30,000 subscribers. The Nth Room perpetrators are accused of luring victims, including minors, into sending sexually explicit photos and videos. In some cases, this escalated to using blackmail to force victims into increasingly violent acts, including sexual assault. Absolutely disgusting. I'm surprised that this news didn't get bigger internationally.
Saw it on BBC News top stories this morning. Then was quickly pushed down the order.